छाया तपो ब्रह्म विदो वदन्ति पंचाग्नयो ये च त्रिनाचिकेताः यः सेतुर्जाननम् अक्षरं ब्रह्म यत्परम् अभयम् तितिक्षतां पारम् नचिकेतगुं सख्यमहे। मंत्र 3। आत्मानं रथिनं विद्धि शरीरं रथमेव तु बुद्धिं तु सारथिं विद्धि मन प्रग्रहमेव च। इंद्रियाणि हयणयोः विषयागुंस्तेषु गोचरान् आत्मेन्द्रियमनुयुक्तं भोक्तेत्याहु मनीषिणः। मंत्र 5। यस्त्वा अभिज्ञानवान् भवति युक्तेन मनसा सदा तस्येन्द्रियाण्यपश्यानि दुष्टस्व सारथे। मंत्र 6। यस्तु विज्ञानवान् भवति तेन मनसा सदा तस्येन्द्रियाणि पश्यानि सदस्व सारथे। मंत्र 7। यस्तु अभिज्ञानवान् भवति। मंत्र 9। विज्ञानसरथिर्यस्तु मन प्रग्रहवान् नर शोध्वन परमाप्नोति तद्विष्णु परमं पदम्। मंत्र 10। इंद्रियेभ्यः परः स्वार्थः अर्थव्यश्च परं मनः मनसस्तु परा बुद्धिः बुद्धेरात्मा महात्मरः। इंद्रियेभ्यः परः अर्थः अर्थेभ्यश्च परं मनः मनसस्तु परा बुद्धिः बुद्धेरात्मा महात्मरः। हरि ओम हरि ओम। Welcome to this session of Katho Upanishad, and we have been studying this for some time. Presently, we are on Prathama Adhyaya, Tritiya, and 10th mantra. Now, we saw this beautiful analogy, comparison of Ratha Kalpana, in which the Atman is the lord of the chariot and the body is the chariot. Intellect is the charioteer and the mind is verily the reins. Senses are the horses and the sense subjects are the roads. Okay, this we are clear now. 2-3 times we have discussed, right? Now, out of this Kalpana has come up the wish. What is to be controlled? How you have to control the Ratha? How the journey will be successful? How we can reach a destination? It can be done only by restraining the mind and with discrimination of the intellect, with right understanding of the sense organs, you control your horses of the chariot. The reins, the lagam should be tightened. And whoever does this, he will reach the destination nicely. His ratha will not be destroyed on the way. Person who has the right understanding and the mind is always controlled. Control of the mind is a great thing. Control of the mind is also control of the intellect. So control the intellect. Then you will be able to hold the reins very tightly and control the horses, and the ratha will move in the right direction and to the right destination. If it is not under control, then you cannot do it. Right? This is the very premise on which the ratha of life is proceeding. Okay. How it is said, if you are intelligent, you are ever pure in your mind is self-controlled, then how you can reach your goal? And what is the goal? Is the paramapnoti, padamapnoti, tat pada apnoti. You reach that tat pada. That means the moksha, which means that you will not undergo the cycle of birth and death again. So this is what our goal. We have kept our goal as the moksha, right? So the person who has got the chariot, Sarathi, with a good intellect, and he controls the reins of the mind, so he will attain the road. And it is said, a road means that is the highest place. That is the highest place of residence of Vishnu. In mantra 9, so we saw Swadhana Paramapnoti Tad Vishnu Paramam Padam. Tad Vishnu, that Vishnu, which is Paramapadam, which is the supreme state or place or goal, that Vishnu. So our job is to first of all have the discriminating intellect and control the mind. Controlling the mind means we will be able to control the chariot of life. On the road we can proceed. What is controlling the mind? That means you are living with discipline. We are following the dharma. You are having jnana and vairagya. You are not subject to the asura sampati. Raga, dvesa, moha, maya, that is not prevailing in your mind. Your mind is purified. This is what it is. So then you can reach the highest place of Vishnu. Because Vishnu is the all-pervading Atman. This is what we had done last time, right? Just a little more. At Vishnu, when he says, the Vishnu here is not, it is to be conceived as the one of the Trinities. Trinity means Brahma, Vishnu, Mahesh. That Vishnu also here it means the all-pervading Bhagavan, the Vasudeva, and he is the Paramatma. What is meant by Vasudeva? Vasudeva, see, it is derived like this. Vasa. Vasa means a place to stay. वास करता है ना, जो हम बोलते हैं ना वासस्थान. Vasa means a dwelling place. So a person who provides a dwelling place, Vasa, is Vasu. And Deva is derived from that Dvetanath Deva. That means it is effulgent. It is, illumining. So this self-luminous Bhagavan provides a dwelling place for all. So he is Vishnu, he is all-pervading, he is the Brahman, he is the Supreme Self, which is called Vasudeva. So now you see Vasudeva, what is the beautiful meaning of it. So that Vishnu, what is mentioned in this mantra, is that Vasudeva. So now, when we are proceeding on this path, spiritual path, the riding the Ratha, how do you ensure that your mind is controlled and your intellect is the best driver, Rathi? How do you know that? Because our human intellect is always confused. So you will use the method, if you are confused, you will use the method used by Arjuna himself. What Arjuna did? He was confused. There's no doubt about it. But then he did one good thing, that he chose Bhagavan Krishna as the charioteer. If we have a confused intellect, you use the intellect of somebody else whom you know to be of discriminate faculty. So, as Arjuna used Bhagavan Krishna, same way, you may not get Krishna here to drive your road of life. What you get here is representative of Bhagavan is the Guru, and then you get the Shastra. So you be guided by the Guru and Shastra, which is available to you, and use them as your ideal driver of life. Then only your mind, which is an intellect, which are confused, they will be under control. So this Paramapadam, Prapnoti Paramapadam. Okay, that means he attains that supreme goal, supreme destination. He attains. Now, when he says Vishnu, it's only a symbolic representation of the Paramapada, because that Paramapada is, it is formless. Nirakara, Nirguna, Nirakara, Bhagavan. So this Vishnu, what you say, normally Vishnu is Sakar Vishnu, right? So Vishnu is Brahman, yes, but Vishnu is Sakara here, we are speaking. The Vishnu word is also derived from the root Vish. Vish means pervading. So व्यापनोति इति विष्णु, जो व्यापक होता है, जो फैल जाता है, that pervades everywhere. Vishnu is all pervading. So that Vishnu you can attain in 3 levels. One, for a LKG student, just starting, so you can have a Eka Rupa Bhagavan. You see a Rupa, you see your idol. You keep your Bhagavan ka Murti, Vishnu Rupi or Krishna Murti, you keep in the temple. Then you concentrate on that, you do the dhyana with that. He is your Ishta Devata. So he is Ekarupa Bhagavan. But once you graduate from this level, come to a higher secondary school matriculation level, then what you get? You see the Ekarupa becomes Aneka Rupa Bhagavan. Aneka Rupa is what? Vishwarupa. Vishwarupa means everywhere, everything, you find the presence of Vishnu Bhagavan there, as stated in chapter 11 of the Bhagavad Gita. So, Eka Rupa to Aneka Rupa. As you further study, you become a postgraduate or doctorate, you do studies of spiritual practices, then that Aneka Rupa transforms into Arupa. Arupa means no Rupa. So that what Nirakara Bhagavan I said, that is you realize at the seat of meditation that Bhagavan is not only the Ishta Devata that I see or the Vishwarupa Darshana I do, but he is Arupa, without form, without color, without shape, size, is present everywhere, all pervading Vishnu. This Arupa also one can visualize in two ways. One is you meditate on Akasa. Akasa means space. Space is also all pervading. So that is one way of doing that, because the nearest to Bhagavan. Another is you meditate on the Nirakara or Nirvikalpa Bhagavan, Asabdam, Asparsam, Arupa, Arupam. So this is all your spiritual practices, especially your Nididhasana, happens according to your level of spiritual sadhana. You can do dhyana on Ekarupa or Anekarupa or Arupa. So these all are considered as Bhagavan, all are considered as Vishnu. Okay? Even though Vishnu is all pervading, he is in Ekarupa, he is in Anekarupa also. Okay? So this is what he says, that Tad Vishnu Paramapadam. That Vishnu, that Paramapada, he attains. Who attains? The person who has the discriminating intellect as the chariot. Okay? So this completes mantra number 9. Now we go over to mantra number 10. Okay? Look at your book, mantra 10. Indriyebhya paravartha arthebhyascha param mana
अर्थेभ्यश्च परं मनः
manasastu para buddhi buddhiratma mahan para indriyebhya paravartha arthabhyascha param mana manasastu para buddhi buddhiratma mahan para indriyebhya. Ebhya is Indriya or Gandha is a comparative. Indriyebhya param artha. Artha is he artha. Artha is a sense organs. So it is said para is superior. So the sense objects are superior to the indriyas or the sense organs. Sense objects are superior than the sense organs. Okay. Then arthebhyascha param manaha. Artha again the sense subjects. Param is superior or subtler. So mana is subtler than the sense objects. Next thing, manasastu para buddhi. Manasaha tu. So compared to the mana, buddhi is superior, subtler, more pervading. Then buddhir atma mahan paraha. Compared to the buddhi, atma is superior. Mahan para is the great self. I mean mahan atma. Atma mahan. That atma is mahan, is a great self. So that self, the atma, is superior to the buddhi. So these are the few steps they have given. Okay. Now let's look at it. The meaning of this mantra becomes like this. Beyond the senses are the sense objects. Now listen carefully. There is some anomaly or it's difficult to understand. Beyond the senses are the sense objects. Beyond the sense objects is the mind. And superior to the mind is the intellect. And superior to the intellect is the great self. Okay. Now, let us go step by step. There are four steps are given, four pahachas. Huh? Okay. Now let's see. Normally we see the sense organs are gross, right? Sense organs like eye, ears, huh? Nose, and all that, they're gross. Because we can see, feel. Now, artha, indriyabhya para artha, artha. Artha means objects, sense objects. Now, they are saying that sense objects are superior to the sense organs. This is a little difficult to understand. Okay. How the sense objects can be superior or subtler or more pervading than sense organs? Because you see, senses are there. Suppose eyes or ears are there. Senses are there. What is the purpose of that? To see the objects of the world or to hear the sound outside. So, only because the objects are there, then only eyes can see. Without any objects, eyes cannot see anything. So the existence of eye is verified by the existence of the objects of the world. And here there is another notion, not notion, is a interpretation that these objects of the world is not being compared here, but objects which have come as impulse or thought into the system. The thought of objects and the sense organs, between the thought of objects and the sense organs, that thought of objects is the superior. Why it is saying so? Because the whole existence of the sense organs is justified by the presence of the sense objects. Understand? The existence of the sense organ is justified by the presence of the sense organs. That means the sense organ is the cause of the sense objects. The sense objects are the cause of the sense organs. And that which is the cause is superior to the effect. I'll give an example. Suppose there's a teacher, there are students. Because the students are there, teachers is there. Even if the teacher has studied the doctorate also, if he doesn't have students, he cannot be called a teacher, even if he has done PhD. Isn't it? The existence of the teacher, the word teacher can be attached to him because he has students. If all of you are not present here, I cannot be teaching you. So I am a teacher because you are present. So you are superior to me. This is the gist of it. Because you are there, I am teaching, so I am a teacher. So you are spread, you are pervading everywhere. Next of this mantra. In this context, it's not manufactured logic by me. It is by the Mahatmas also. The objects, because of the presence of the objects, the sense organ is proving its identity. I will not be there, or it will not know its validity unless the rupa is there. So that's why the rupa is subtler than the eye. Okay. Suppose there are no forms. Now, so how do you say that the form is greater than the sense organ of eye? So example is that suppose there are no forms or colors in the world, the eyes cannot know and assert that I have the power of seeing. The eyes cannot know. So that's why the objects of the world is more powerful, more subtler than the sense organ itself. If there are no sounds, you will not have any sense organ at all. You will not know the value of sense organ at all. So the sound is the cause of the sense organ. And whatever is the cause is subtler than the effect. So all the sense organs are present because of the sense objects. The cause is always subtler than the effects. Hence, Shruti is logically justified. Sense objects are beyond sense organs. Indriyebhya para artha. The form, the sound, taste, smell, touch are subtler than the pervasive, and they are more pervasive than the sense organs of eyes, ears, tongue, nose, skin, etc. In that order. Okay. Next thing is artha. Mana, the mind, is subtler than the sense objects. That is self-evident. Mind is subtler than the sense subjects. Mind is certainly more pervasive, subtler than the sense objects, and the senses caused by them. Senses come in contact with the sense objects. The indriya comes in contact with the objects of the world. The resultant is the impulse that it receives. It's like an electrical impulse. And that impulse reports to the mind. That impulse is carried to the mind. Each sense organ gives its own report. I got this feedback from Rupa, I saw this color, I saw the shape, I saw heard the sound, I heard the touch. All the reports are fed to the mana. Okay? They are registered in the mind, they are scrutinized in the mind, and they are processed. Here I am keeping only processed because the next level also is there. Next level what? It refers to the intellect, and the intellect refers to the memory, and all that thing will take place. But here I am telling the mind is processing all the information received from all the sense organs, and then the total impression that is being created of the object, it is a book or a pen or a mobile, whatever we saw, we got the total imprint of that in my mind. So, Indri Artha Param Mana. Next level is Manasastu Para Buddhi. Manasaha means greater than Mana or superior than Mana or more pervading than Mana is Para para buddhi. Buddhi is the intellect. So, I mean, we have done Tattva, so we know it. Huh? Subtler than mana is the intellect. So, intellect is subtler than the mind. Now, very basic example I'll give you, which has been given by Gurudev Swami Chinmayanji. The mind is like a receiving clerk in the office. You know, you get the dark letters and all that. Somebody will receive. The mind receives whatever information comes, what the dark comes, you know, registered parcel or courier or whatever it is, mind is receives. But mind is the receiving clerk or the secretary, and the intellect is the officer in charge or the manager. Mind cannot take a decision. Mind gives all the letters to the officer. Officer takes a decision and tells the mind, okay, do this. Okay. So intellect, after taking the decision, it decides by using its discriminating power. Not only the discriminating power, but it also refers to the memory bank. What has happened before? What are the past outcome? Where such similar information had come? And all that memory he utilizes and takes a decision. Okay. So it is like referring to the stored files in the computer from the memory chips, and then the decision is taken and it comes back to the intellect. Intellect tells the mind what is to be done. So the intellect is using the previous impulses, what mind had given, and what is stored in the memory, and the references also. Delving into the memory, it does that. So it compares the past impulses, the present impulses, and makes the decision. The judgment he takes, and the judgment means his decision. Actually, it is not goes as a judgment; it goes as a recommendation only. It recommends the mind. It is judgment means it has to be followed. But the mind has got the overriding power of following or not following. Intellect will tell you do, mind may do, may not do. So the order, it gives the order, but the mind has to execute and implement the order. So hence, the intellect is superior, greater in importance, and more pervading. Why do I say more pervading? You may be remembering in Tattva that intellect is not limited to the present or past. It also delves in the future. It can see the future. It can have the intuition. It knows um, more than what is available. Like doing a research and knowing more. Same way, it can um, go beyond the known part also. That's why intellect is more pervading. Okay. So manasasto para buddhi. Next is buddhir atma mahan para. Compared to buddhi, superior to buddhi is mahan para. Mahan para is the atma is mahan and that is para. Buddhir atma mahat para. That means that atma is superior. That atma is the great self that we talk. Okay. This great self, which what you say here, is not only the atma, that individual atma, but also the total atma, total self we are talking about, total intellect we are talking about. The total mind or intellect put together is the inner instrument of the totality, of the what you call total. That is called the Hiranyagarbha. See, Hiranyagarbha is we say, the total mind, or the inner instruments of the total mind. Total. That means Hiranyagarbha is the place where we'll study that little later, that where the mind of the total is there. Okay. The original thoughts originate, the individual thoughts originate in the individual mind. Same way, the um, samasti thoughts originate in the Hiranyagarbha, or the total mind. That total mind or inner intellect is called the samasti antakaran. That Hiranyagarbha is the source, is the reservoir of all thoughts. And it is the source of all the thoughts of the universe, whatever is happening. No individual can generate a thought in absolute independence. It has to come from the Hiranyagarbha only. You cannot exist free from the whole. The total is there. You are part of it. You are one of it. You cannot say that, oh, I am separate, I am doing this without considering the total. You cannot do that. Same way, no thought can exist without getting some contribution, some reference from the total. In the worldly affairs also, everyone is a victim, consciously or unconsciously, of influences. So much of information is flowing onto us, so much of news, advertisements, and your YouTube, or all this, news items are coming. All of us are influenced by that. We are not taking any independent decision. Whatever decision we are taking, or whatever thought is coming to mind, it is being influenced by some of the external information, or advertisement, or news, or comments, or comments by friends. Suppose Shishir Babu makes a comment today, that will imprint in my mind. And whatever action I take, it will be influenced by that. Or social gossips also. There are so many WhatsApp channels, groups. So that gossip also helps, influences our work or my thought. So these worldly influences are shaping my thought. Same way, the total influence is also there on my thought, because I am part of the total. So that is coming through my sharper intellect, my intuition that I get, the revelation that I receive from the total mind, from the Hiranyagarbha, that also shapes my thought process. See what I told you, please understand. One thing I was telling, our thoughts are influenced by the worldly influences. Same way, our thoughts also influenced by the outwardly influences. That means the total influence is there of the Hiranyagarbha, or total mind, that is influence on us. That we receive by some intuition, some revelation that comes to me by through my sharpened intellect. If you are gross, then you will not get it. Okay. So what we are saying is that the total intellect, or the total mind, that Hiranyagarbha, is more pervading than the subtlest intellect of the individual. So that Hiranyagarbha is being addressed here as Mahanatma, Mahatatma. That Mahatatma is superior to the Buddhi, that intellect, that individual intellect is there. That means individual intellect is under the total intellect. Is it clear now? Because it's a little difficult to understand, but that is the sequence has to be followed. So it's a fact that all of us are being influenced by something the other, worldly influence or otherworldly influence. So if we develop true conviction, if you develop true conviction with established noble values, we can also to some extent influence the total thought. That means individual intellect also can influence the total intellect. You must have seen, for example, you must have seen in a society or in a country, when the people are dharmic, they follow the right path, and their thought process is like that. So the nation also behaves like that. Nation's thought process becomes the individual's total thought process. So individual intellect is also influencing the total intellect. So that total intellect is certainly superior, subtle, more pervasive than the individual intellect. Is it clear? So we have come to that. Buddhir Atma Mohan Para. So how do I make this spiritual journey? All this is saying, no, Ratha Kalpana is for your spiritual journey only. How do I make this? Upanishad is saying that it is not an outward journey, it is an inward journey, right? All this is an inward journey. These senses or mind and all that, we are going in because we visualize that Paramatma is sitting in the cave of my heart. हृदय के अंदर में परमात्मा है. So he is the innermost Pratyagatma, and everything else is above. That means the outside is gross, and as you go closer, that is subtler, and the subtlest becoming the Paramatma in me alone. So the senses, the sense objects, the mind, the intellect, and the great self for the Hiranyagarbha. This is the sequence that we are looking at. So if you are making a spiritual journey, you cannot take a high jump and or go inside at a time. From the gross level, from the physical level, your Annamaya Kosa, you start with that. Then you you are identifying with the Annamaya Kosa, that's the grossest level. Then identify with the Pranamaya Kosa, that is subtler level. Then identify with the Manomaya Kosa. The sense organs comes at a subtle level. Manomaya Kosa comes at later at another level. Then you go to Vijnanamaya Kosa. Vijnanamaya Kosa is the intellect level. Vijnanamaya Kosa is the intellect level. After that, you go to the Atma level. So this is the way your thought also has to expand, has to become subtler, has to become more pervasive. So all of a sudden, you cannot jump from the grossest thought process to the subtlest thought process. What I talk to you, that you are also influenced by the intuition, by the subtleties of the from the revelations from the higher up. That will happen only when your intellect is sharpened, without the vicissitude of the worldly thoughts. So for us, our journey must start from the grossest, but you have to move forward step by step and reach the subtlest of the subtlest, that is Paramatma. For that, we have meditations are there. Dhyana karte hain, jo koi aur nidhyasana karte hain. And nidhyasana, you like you can do on the pancha bhutas also. Like you have the 5 levels of huh? First earth, then water, then like that, fire, space. So one is subtler than the other. See how beautifully our scriptures are divided. Panchamavada also, same way, one is subtler than the other. Yes, sir. Step by step it goes. So you also can do dhyana on the grass first, on the earth, then water, then fire, then air, then akasha. Is the way you can do. This is very well described in Chandogya Upanishad. You also can do the same meditation as I told you, the Panchakosha. Parnamaya Kosha, Pranamaya Kosha, Manomaya Kosha, Vijnanamaya Kosha, and Anandamaya Kosha. That is referred in Taittiriya Upanishad. Well defined in that is Panchakosha Viveka. So these are all Viveka. You do the Viveka and then you come to the subtlest level. So in all these cases, you move from the gross level to the subtle level, from concrete to abstract, from limited to limitless, sukshma to mahant. So each kosha is more subtle, more pervasive than the previous one. And the each kosha, as you proceed subtler, then you proceed close to the Atma, that is the Pratyaka, that is yourself. When Anandamaya Kosha, that bliss state is the closest to Atma. So this is what has been described in this mantra 10 and 11. One thing we must understand, that intellect alone controls and masters the mind. That we all know, right? Because the mind is sansayatmaka, always in doubt, isn't it? Mind is always in doubt. We call it sankalpa vikalpatmaka mana. Mana is never fixed, always in doubt. Okay, sankalpa vikalpatmaka mana. It will plan, then replan, break, and do and redo, and all that will go on. He cannot take decision. Whereas buddhi is nischayatmaka buddhi. It will take some time. It will refer to the memory bank and past and present, all that you will refer. But finally, you take a decision. Nischayatmaka buddhi. So buddhi is the decision maker. Once a decision is made, then doubt goes away. That's why it is said, manasastu para buddhi. Superior than mana is buddhi. And buddhi से जो बड़ा हो गया, that is called the samasti vijnanamaya. One jump it takes. Buddhir atma mahan par. That leap it takes from individual intellect to total intellect. Individual intellect to total intellect, that is the mahat. That mahat is Hiranyagarbha. It is referred in the next sloka, mantra. So the shift is from vyasti to samasti, from individual to total, from small to big. One thing I can tell you, all of us are thinking that Aham Brahmasmi, you will chant and get. Oh, it can never be. Because if you have to claim that I am Brahman, I have to expand my thought accordingly. I cannot limit my thought that this is my body, my body is paining and this is happening, my head has become, hairs have become gray, I put my head only on this. You don't think of what is inside the head. you would think of only the gray hair on top, not the gray matter inside. Huh? So when you limit your thoughts to yourself or to the family or the society, I mean, then you will be remaining in that limitation. Whereas Brahman is what? Brihat iti Brahman. The big. How big is also not known. The biggest, limitless. So unless your thought becomes limitless, your consciously you think of the biggest, you cannot identify yourself with the Brahman. It is not only by saying Om Brahmasmi it will happen. You have to expand your consciousness. We have to go beyond these limitations. At each level limitation. Each. That's why the Shastras are giving the different 5 levels of kosas or 5 levels of panchabhutas. Expand your thinking, expand your consciousness. Ultimately, you have to include the total in your thought process. So, the process is that expand your individual to the family, family to the friends, friends to the society, society to the community, community to the nation, to the world and the universe. Like that, you have to expand your thinking process, your consciousness to that level. Only when you become thought unlimited, then only you can say Am Brahmasmi. Here in this sloka, it is talking of only Hiranyagarbha. Hiranyagarbha is the total mind or total intellect. Okay, that is same idea in mantra 10. And I'm telling you this mantra again, and Katha Upanishad. So this mantra is also replicated in Bhagavad Gita. Remember, Bhagavad Gita, chapter 342. It is saying, Indriyani paranahu, Indriyebhya parammanah, manasastu parabuddhi, buddhe paratastu saha. Yaad aa gaya? See how important is the Katha Upanishad that we are studying. So many mantras are being replicated into the Bhagavad Gita. So with this, we conclude this mantra today. Hari Om, Hari Om. I'll close it now.
Hari Om.
Happy Independence Day to all of you.